Casefiles. This is part 2 of hanging with the death dealer Misha down on the riverfront, continuing our chaos conversation.
Hi, everyone.
The last episode we were talking about the Klondike, different places that have a lot of spirits, things that we've run into on those spirits.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, did you ever hear about the UFO sighting of, I think it was 1984, I think it was?
I vaguely remember that. I was like 14. So, but I remember just being a little girl. I mean, I was kind of trying to hide, but still kind of look out for them, you know? I mean, just hoping that I could see one land. Not that lucky, but I do remember a bit about that story.
Yeah, because a guy over across the river in Washington was tape recording.
Okay.
And one of Columbia County sheriffs was down here on the same riverfront we're at now, and they saw an orange ball sitting above the river.
And it was just like stationary, right?
It was just stationary.
Yeah.
You could hear. I mean, there was a point where the engines start to like cycle up.
Oh wow.
You've got two guys across the river discussing how it's got everything lit up like daylight, and then it just takes off towards Portland. So I mean, you can. I'll have to find the recording again, but you can hear the engines powering up.
Oh wow.
And then it just
gone.
Zoom. It's gone.
That's crazy.
But I think the original recording's like, I want to say about 28, 30 minutes long.
Wow.
Where you could just hear these guys talking back and forth about the light that's over top.
Yeah. It's just nuts.
Almost thinking that one of these times we need to come down here maybe on the anniversary and see what we can see.
Oh, I would love that. I think it was like totally
4,
down for that.
I think it was 4 o'clock in the morning though.
That's okay.
Just come down and see what we can see.
I'm a night owl. I'll just have extra coffee late. Yeah, that would be fun. Well, growing up, me and my friends, we would like sleep outside, you know, camp out, just try and find something. It was so much fun. I love doing stuff like that. That part of me has never changed. I'm down for a little camp out, stake out, looking for something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I know we were talking about they put out okay, let me backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
That's chaos for you.
Yes.
So, a year ago, they put out a map of every state's most famous cryptic monster.
Yes.
You would think that Oregon would be Bigfoot.
You would think, but it's not.
It's not. Washington actually got Bigfoot.
Yep.
Oregon got Colossal Claude.
Yep.
Now, Colossal Claude is Oregon's own Loch Ness Monster. It's not the only lake monster Oregon has, though. So, Colossal Claude was seen back in, I believe, what was it?
The 30s. I think it was 1932, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Out by the Columbia River Bar.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was seen, 40s, 50s?
Yeah, early 50s.
Early 50s. Because I don't have my notes.
It's okay. Me neither.
It's been sighted all up and down the coastline.
Mm-hmm. And there was a couple who saw it, and they were out on a lake, and they got in their car and just drove to try to see where it would go. Because this thing is like 40 feet long. The belly was like 4 feet wide or something like that. And the head was like 8 feet. It's monstrous with a head of some say a camel, some say a horse.
Yeah.
And it even has fur, which is weird since it's a water, creature. But
now I couldn't find the one report to send to you, but there was a sighting back in the 80s.
Okay.
Down by the Portland airport.
I did not see that one. Yeah.
I couldn't find that one.
Okay.
I'd only seen it the one time. Now, when I brought this up to some other people, They're like, well, how's the sea monster going to get into the Columbia River and get all the way down and nobody sees it?
Well, a couple ways. One, so many people don't freaking pay attention. They're looking at their phones, or they're just, daydreaming, or they're just not present. And two, I think there's so many skeptical people in the world that they would just think that it was a figment of their imagination, or this thing, even though it's big, it can be fast, you know? I mean, think of it. If you see a whale sighting, you even sometimes question that. Like, oh, is that really a whale?
You heard
what
that
did I see?
We did have a whale down here by Sobeys Island.
Yep.
Last year or the year before?
Mm-hmm. Pretty recently.
Yeah, so I mean...
People are questioning that, so why wouldn't they question if they saw something kind of out of the ordinary?
Yeah, plus you got a lot of sea lions that come down here. Mm-hmm. I hit one with a boat one time.
Oh no, poor sea lion. Did you kill it?
No.
Okay,
It was just a kayak.
Oh, okay, good. Just bruised it.
He was trying to. I'm guessing he was trying to surface.
Yeah.
And whatever I hit lifted my boat out of the water.
Oh my god. Crazy. Can you imagine hitting colossal cod, though?
Well, at one point I was wondering if maybe it was a colossal cod because of how bad I was picked up.
Yeah.
And that was just right out here.
Crazy.
Right out front of the river between City Hall and the island. And the boat it was not a wave. I hit something solid, and it lifted the whole front up. It was not a wave.
That's nuts. I would have screamed.
I was looking around. I did see a sea lion surface behind me.
Uh-huh.
So I was kind of wondering maybe he was coming up for air. I hit him. He came up further away from me. I don't know. Just
crazy.
Trying to find a logical explanation of whatever it was I hit.
Yep.
And it wasn't a log.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm sure that's what people do, though. If they saw something like colossal cod, they would try to find a rational explanation for it.
Yeah. So you got colossal cod for a sea creature. Mm-hmm. Devil's Lake in Lincoln City had a monster that was sighted all the way back down in tribal days. Wow. They said it had tentacles, so it is probably a giant Pacific octopus.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a theory, and it's backed by some scientific evidence that says that octopuses they came from an alien species.
Yeah.
Like they were, something landed here, and their DNA with these particles from meteors or whatever just kind of formed in the water, and that's how the octopus is created. Because if you look at them, they have like heads kind of like a alien.
Yeah, and they just squeeze through the littlest, tiniest, and they're smart.
Yeah. You know what I love about octopuses? They will just, out of spite, they'll just punch a fish. And I'm deathly allergic to all fish and all seafood, so I think that's kind of funny. It's like, yeah, get that fish.
But I'm going to have that image through my head all day long.
I need to get an octopus tattoo, man, because I love it so much.
Now you have to.
Yes, now I have to.
You put it on the air.
Yes, I declared it. With a little bubble that says, fuck that fish.
It needs to be punching a fish.
Yeah, yes.
You got to find an artist to make that. It's got to.
Oh my god. Add that to my to-do list.
So
anyway,
Devil's Lake.
Yes.
This is Chaos Radio, people.
A little sidetrack there. Sorry.
It's all about sidetracking. So Devil's Lake, the tribe would go out and they would do a sacrifice to appease the beast, so it would not attack anybody.
Right.
Unofficially, the word I got was that the tribe still does that, and it's close to the tribe. They'll go out and they'll do a ritual to pacify the beast.
Okay.
I know a couple years back, and I could not find anything written down on this one. This was somebody called into a podcast.
Okay.
And so I don't know how valid it is, if they're just trying to get their name on there, but they said that the person was in a wheelchair.
Okay.
And the father had wheeled them out onto the dock so they could look at the lake. Well, the father went back to the truck to get some.
Oh, no. Don't tell me he fell into the lake.
He was dragged into the lake by a supposed mermaid.
Really?
Yes. Horrible, and that didn't look like your basic feminine. It was a creature, scales, claws.
Wow.
Had gotten up on the dock, flipped the kid off in the water, and was trying to pull him in to take him away. The father ended up rescuing the kid.
Good.
But the mermaid got away. But there's not any other reports besides that one of these killer mermaids.
Wow. I
So,
wonder if it was a siren.
I don't know. These are things that we need to go and actually do an investigation on.
Yes.
And, definitely need to pack a kayak.
Yes.
Because Devil's Lake is only like 20 feet deep.
Okay.
I mean, it's long. It's a pretty decent sized lake, but it's only 20 feet deep. You know, maybe get some drones up in the air, see what's going on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got that lake monster. You got the one report of the killer mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
You got Claude. Every state's got their own little, myths, legends, and monsters and cryptids that are so not well known.
Doesn't Mothman come out here sometimes too?
There hasn't been a lot of sightings of a Mothman in Oregon that I know of.
Okay.
I know it was big in the 60s in Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
West Virginia. Okay. Texas.
But it's also been seen wherever there's a natural disaster or something big going to happen.
I heard or read someplace in Texas too with Mothman, but I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking there was a sighting out here too, but I might just be mistaken there.
Might have been. Things we had to look up later.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine. Well, she lives in Ireland, and she messaged me that she saw something that looked very, very similar to a Mothman. You know, like this human-like form, but huge wings, red, glowy eyes. And she actually, she like stopped in her tracks because it was crazy. And it just was like perched up in this big tree, and then it just like flew away.
Yeah.
Nuts.
There's a lot of weird stuff on the backside of reality, if you want to call it.
Yep.
Dark side.
Yep.
That we really just don't pay attention to.
I know.
I mean, you got reports of thunderbirds.
Yes.
Giant eagles that are like 40 feet wide and snatch children.
Mm-hmm.
Sea monsters. Cannon Beach has the Bandage Man.
What's that one? I never heard of that one.
Oh, Bandage Man is supposed to be a logger who was killed in the 50s.
Okay.
So this guy is 7 feet tall. He's a logger. He gets crushed between a bunch of logs. The ambulance comes and gets him. Apparently, as the ambulance is coming back into town, it crashes. The body isn't found.
Oh,
The
no.
body goes missing. So then you get to the 50s where the old Highway 101 they put in a new 101, and there's a little offshoot of the old highway.
Okay.
Well, that became Lover's Lane. So these kids are out there on the old 101. They're on Lover's Lane. They feel something jump into the back of the truck. They turn around. It's a mummy. Wrapped up in bandages, rotted flesh. It busts through the window. They start the car. They get going. They get in the car. They get back into town. They get back to Bill's Bar because that's the only place that was open.
Uh-huh.
And all that's left is a bloody bandage through the broken window.
Wow.
So then you got years of, as you're coming down 101, apparently the domain of this thing is Highway 26 to Cannon Beach.
Okay.
So it's that all 101
Right.
area.
It's just that strip.
So if it's a dark and stormy night and you're driving from 26 south into Cannon Beach, sometimes you'll see a mummy sitting on the side of the road.
Oh my God, how freaky that would be.
There's been sightings of a hitchhiker coming into town and this giant 7-foot-tall mummy coming out of the woods and just crumbling him up like a lawn chair and carting the body back into the woods.
Oh my God.
Dogs going missing. Apparently, Bandage Man likes to eat dogs.
Oh my God.
If you're in a truck and you're driving on 101, either north or south, you'll feel something jump in the bed of your truck. You turn around, there's a rotted face. The minute you get to 26 or you get into Cannon Beach, it vanishes, it leaves.
Sounds like an episode on Supernatural.
It does. So we went there a couple of years ago to do a little investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Cannon Beach has grown so much since the 40s and 50s.
Oh, yeah.
The original Bill's Tavern, which I was told that the original one had clippings up of all the encounters.
Yeah.
And had one of the old bloody bandages posted up on the wall.
Really? I've been to the Bill's Tavern, but I don't remember seeing the bloody bandage, but of course I wasn't looking for it.
That was the old Bill's.
Yeah.
It was a dive bar.
Wow.
And then they went and rebuilt everything.
Okay.
Because we were
probably
looking,
the one I've been in then.
Yeah, because when we were there and we went into Bill's and we asked them, they said, "Oh yeah, that's just an urban legend."
No, it's not.
Yeah, but we were trying to go through a bunch of the stores and look for merchandise because most places are going to capitalize.
Well, yeah.
On their sightings.
Okay, so what's today? Sunday. So my day's off, Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday, I'm going to go to this place I just learned about. You probably know about it, but it's in Portland called the Peculiarium. Have you ever been there? Have you ever heard of it?
I've heard about it.
Oh my gosh. So I was looking online. They have all these like weird photos of creatures and creatures/humans and all kinds of stuff about urban legends and things like that. So I will see if I can find something there.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
Well, apparently there's a surf shop in Cannon Beach that sells a t-shirt of the Bandage Man.
It really.
So we got to go back to Cannon Beach as a group
Yes.
sometime and go track this down surf
That's
shop.
my happy place. I love Haystack Rock and Cannon Beach and all of that. And it's been far too long since I've been there, which is really sad since we're in Oregon. But,
yeah, and there's so many haunted places.
I know.
Coast, in town, out of town.
we need to start making a list, checking them off, and just going to see what we can find.
We're just going to need to do a road trip and be like, okay, we're going to start.
I need a Scooby-Doo van, you know?
Yep. Go down 30, get into Astoria. There's Fort Stevens. That's haunted.
Oh, yeah. Well, Astoria is, in the whole world, more ships and merchandise are lost in Astoria. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
It's just crazy. So I'm sure even just on the river right there, there's probably a ton of spirit activity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's some of the hotels. There's the Norblad.
I haven't heard of that one.
Oh, yeah. That was the one that was featured on Ghost Adventures.
Gotta watch Ghost Adventures.
Because apparently down in the basement there's a portal and there's a demon that likes sitting there.
Really?
Yeah, that was one of my friends who did an expedition down there.
Okay. What's it called again?
The Norblad.
Norblad. What a weird name.
Mm-hmm. It's like a hostel right now. But it would be kind of cool to go.
Yeah.
Then, of course, you got Seaside and all the other stuff and the Bridge Tender and...
Oh, yeah. So much.
All the other haunted locations. And it just moved down the coastline all the way down.
I want to go to California to San Jose to go to the Winchester Mystery House.
That would be cool. And
Yes.
I know we've still got a standing invite in San Diego.
Okay. What's
to the Queen Mary.
Oh.
And then there's the lady who does the paranormal stuff for the Queen Mary also has a what is it? The Adobes. She runs that one too.
Oh.
So she was a guest on one of our shows and said, "Yeah, anytime you're down in San Diego, look me up."
Cool. Well, we got a list going.
Just started from the north and I'll head our way south.
Right?
But that's an idea we can probably do for future shows is
Yeah, as we're traveling.
Unknown cryptids of each state.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Because there's a lot of states.
I know.
We did a mock investigation up in Alaska, up in Ketchikan.
Really?
Never
been to Alaska. My ex is from there. So I don't know if I want to go, but I hear it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
We went to one place in Ketchikan that was the old brothel.
Okay.
The lady ran it, I think it was Annie's. It's a museum now.
Okay.
But she ran it all the way up until she was 70.
Wow.
She was kind of like the only girl there.
Okay.
But there was like trap doors to get out. There was all
Wow.
this other stuff. We stuck a K2 in, and we were videotaping everything and trying to be real sly about it. Like a lock of her hair was pegging the K2.
Oh, wow.
There's no other electronics. There's no anything else. But a lock of her hair is just pegging it. Her closet was pegging it.
Wow.
We tried to do some yes/no questions. Got a few that were just random answers. Didn't really get too far into it because we didn't. It was K2 stuck inside my pocket and just do.
Wow.
Turn it on. Boop, boop, boop. Do a quick little check. All right. Move along. Here comes people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
yeah. I mean that seems to be our goal. Is if we're going to go out traveling, try and take some stuff and do some investigation.
Yeah.
I mean that's how we found out Fort Stevens was haunted. I mean we'd already heard rumors by phantom watchmen who parades the grounds in front of Battery Russell itself, and if you're there at night, you can see his lantern, and if you get close, the lantern goes out, he disappears.
Wow. I used to
just
camp there when I was a little girl. I haven't been there in a long time. But...
Yeah, and we've tracked Bigfoot up there, up in the back of Battery Russell. But I mean, we just where were we? We were going to the KOA there for a charity run.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just there super early, couldn't check in. Been up forever and a day. So we had stuff in my car. I always got a case in my car.
I always got to be ready.
So we just were like, okay, well, let's grab the case and go walk around Fort Stevens and the batteries, and can't check in till 4, so we'll just go blow some time.
Yeah.
So we're just walking through Battery Russell and Battery Pratt and K2 in hand, and again doing this the low down guerrilla tactic, ask questions, see what you get, do some videotaping. Oh look, here's come people, we're gonna move now. So maybe that's what we ought to do. God, I'm blanking. There's a house and museum in Astoria.
Is it, what's it called? Cowles? No. I know what you're talking about. I can picture it in my head.
Flavel House.
Okay.
It's the Flavel Mansion.
Yes.
I have not had enough caffeine today. I blame that on no caffeine. So the Flavel House, I got word, because my parents went up there. My dad is not a believer. Mm-hmm. And he thought there was a reenactor. He saw a woman in late 1800s dress. He got upstairs. He saw a woman ducking in one of the bedrooms in period dress and kind of disappear. She kind of walked through, and all the doors and everything up there just all interlock. So you can go from one room into the next room into the hallway back across. So he tried to chase her down and wanted to get a picture. He's like, wow, she looked really period piece. That was kind of cool. Couldn't find her.
That's because she was a spirit.
She was a spirit. She wasn't a reenactor.
It's funny.
So every time we go to Astoria, we try to go to Flavel and we do the smuggle things into the pockets.
Yeah.
God, what was it? 4 years ago, I think it was about 4 years ago. we did more of an extensive one because we went upstairs. It wasn't as busy, and we just kind of hid out.
Mm-hmm.
And we hid out in the master bedroom. We did some EVP work, just tried to figure out what we could find. I got some readings, but again, some of these places aren't going to let us in all the time to do an actual investigation.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them for that. They got a lot of period pieces, furniture.
So let me ask you this. Did your dad ever believe that he saw a spirit?
No, he
still doesn't believe it.
Darn.
Oh, well, you can't win them all.
That's okay. He knows what we do, and we do what we do.
There you go.
I like to say it's what we do best.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know. What places would you like to hit in Oregon since you're part of the team?
Oh, gosh. So many. I mean, I want to hit all the ones that you said, and I would like to also go to Portland. I heard the Aladdin Theater has a lot of activity there too. That might be kind of hard to get into because I know they still use it and stuff, but I don't know. It seems like a lot of those old theaters. Well, even the one here in St. Helens.
Yeah, they're pretty adamant they don't want us in.
Really? That's just sucky.
And they just did a bunch of remodeling and building. And I'm just like, why don't you just let us in?
Yeah.
Just you're remodeling, you're close to the public, just let us in for a little bit.
And there's, I'm blanking on names today, but in Portland, there's caves too, kind of like what you were talking about with the bank here in St. Helens, but there's caves under different restaurants and things in Portland where the slaves used to hide and try to get away. And
plus all the Shanghai tunnels.
Yeah, that's it. Shanghai.
Astoria's got the Shanghai tunnels too.
Yep. So that would be really interesting to go down in those and see what we could find on the...
Well, I know Astoria, it's Gilly's Butcher Shop.
Okay.
She does paranormal tours that go downstairs.
Oh, really?
She was actually on Ghost Adventures too when they were out here a couple years back.
Cool.
But like if you walk down the streets of Astoria, I don't remember the street name right off the top of my head. Welcome to Chaos Radio. But you'll see these purple stones. Looks like a purple mosaic in the sidewalk. Those are to direct the light into the underground.
Interesting.
They're prisms. Like on the old sailing ships, you'd have a glass prism.
Mm-hmm.
It's flat on top, and it's just like a pyramid underneath. So it's capturing the light, and it's just refracting down underneath.
Nice.
So a lot of Astoria has these purple prisms.
Oh, I bet that's gorgeous.
They're old. They need to be restored. But as you're walking down the sidewalk, and you just look down, you're like, oh, why is there all these purple little...
That's cool.
Purple gems in the sidewalk all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
It's for the light.
That's awesome.
It's how they would used to light up the underground.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of things. Of course, we got the Oregon Ghost Conference in March.
Yep. I'm excited for that.
Hopefully...
It'd be fun to go to Ashland, too.
Ashland would be good.
There's a lot of places there, too.
Yeah, I mean, the list goes on and 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 on.
Yeah.
I do know that the current owner of the Klondike wants to take the upper levels and turn them back into a hotel.
Really?
And
that would be interesting.
When he finishes that, I don't know when they're going to be finished. If we ever get in there, you can see the condition of the upstairs.
Well, I was in it years ago, and I remember... I mean, the rooms are pretty small. Yeah.
It's beat up.
Yeah. It was beat up years ago, but I don't think the spirits want to leave those rooms, so that will be interesting.
Well, it's like the Stanley Hotel, I mean, I keep telling them, You build it. You get upstairs done. And when Stephen King wrote The Shining, the Stanley Hotel was $15 for a week.
Yeah.
It was a dive. The place was going under. It was boarded up in places. Now it's $300 a night.
Just because it was in the book.
Because it was in the book, and people have found haunted locations of the thing. So now it's a mecca. It's the Klondike. Everybody knows the Klondike. Every paranormal team out there knows the Klondike. You know, they're all drawn to it. They want to get into it, which is why when we do the haunted tours, I grab that as quickly as possible, because it's like, we get to go in, and we only had 20 minutes of tour, but we're in the Klondike and we're doing an investigation.
Yeah.
And that's kind of all that matters at that point is, we get
take what we can get.
Exactly. Because COVID shut everything down. 2Cs is haunted. Mm-hmm. They've had teams go through there pre-COVID.
Yep.
She still doesn't want a lot of people in there.
Yeah. Well, now that's mostly because she was going to do it. She had this psychic who was supposed to come down there, and they were selling tickets and all this stuff, and she just totally screwed Mitzi over. You know, she kept making excuses, so obviously I don't think she was a real psychic. She probably was scared, didn't know what to do. I'm like, well, why didn't you call me? But so now she's just kind of nervous to let anybody come in there and do any kind of readings, because it was a lot. Mitzi had to do a lot to get everything ready to even have somebody come in.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I might be able to talk to her about that, getting us in there. But
if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
We're not as aggressive as a lot of other groups.
Yeah. No, we're pretty chill.
Yeah, we're very chill. Like I mean, like the Klondike. You know, we know the owner. Mm-hmm. We're on great terms with the guy.
Yeah.
When he's up and running full time and he's got it going, he likes to do like open mic nights.
Oh, fun.
Him and his band will come in and play while you're eating dinner. He was talking about doing a paranormal night where we would come in, we'd go over stuff, then we'd do a little take him in the basement type of business. Mm-hmm. You know, just before closing. That would be once a month.
That's cool. That'd be fun.
I haven't gone and like pestered them because they have just been open for I think about a month or two now.
Yeah, not long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not bug the guy until he's been in operation. He's got everything going. He's, you know,
gets his footing,
and then, you know, I mean, I've been in a restaurant business before, and you do a startup. And the first couple months, you got to find your footing. Everyone's got to get on the same page. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't want to be introducing us into the mix of, hey, I know you just got, you know, the wait staff and the kitchen staff. And
no, I hear you. That's smart.
The building ain't going nowhere. He's not going nowhere. We're not going nowhere.
Well, no, he's spent a shit ton of money on it.
Yeah. And if he's going to refurbish it, but I keep telling him, you get the upstairs done, you're going to be making money hand over fist in no time.
Yeah.
Especially Halloween Town.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Spirit of Halloween Town, you open that up for rooms, money's pouring in.
Yep.
Because it is such a well-known building. Mm-hmm. It's documented as haunted.
Yep.
And now you can go and stay in the rooms upstairs that nobody else gets to stay in.
Yep. That's a tourist attraction right there.
I'm like, that's gold, man. Mm-hmm. And then we can come in and we can do the nightly thing, and it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be so much fun. Yeah, we need to start our tour of the 50 states with the 50 cryptoids.
I think we could probably come up with more than 50 per.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we covered a few on this episode about Oregon.
We should do a bunch of episodes with all the different states.
Definitely, we can.
Okay, I'm down.
All right. Just sit and chill, and probably, I mean, what we could probably do is get other people involved and just have like a round robin discussion.
That'd be fun.
Find a place. Some of us can have cigars.
There you go.
That was what we did on the last 3 shows, is cigars and sit outside with a microphone and talk.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely get more people involved. Because, that was one of our ideas at one point, was just a round-robin debate team.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun.
Just grab a table, set up a bunch of microphones, and be like, all right, we're going to discuss, boom, here's Washington, here's our 5 unknown cryptids of the month.
Yep.
And then that would be the month. So this is going to be the 2nd show for September. Maybe the 3rd show for September we'll pick out 3 more unknown cryptids of Oregon.
Sounds
so
good.
September is going to be Oregon month.
Yay!
And then we'll have October.
Getting ready for Halloween.
Maybe we could, I don't know.
Spirit of Halloween Town.
We got to do something good for October.
Yeah.
Maybe,
let's ponder that.
Yeah, we'll ponder October. Maybe we can do a live podcast
Ooh.
from the Klondike.
That would be so awesome.
Definitely have to get the laptop fixed, set up the microphones. We can get Holcomb sit down with us.
Wear costumes.
Yeah, we can wear costumes. I'll be running for mayor where there's a parade on the 1st.
Oh, so did you decide?
The 8th. I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
But, yeah, we can be in costume. Just see if,
That'd be fun.
Maybe it'll be like 2 or 3 live shows in a row because we only get 45 minutes per.
Yeah.
So we'll just do a live show and then immediately do another live show. And then if we just got a good afternoon, we'll have 3 shows in a day.
Sounds
Make it special.
Awesome. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're going to check out. And we shall see you in a week.
See you next time.